Hey, what's up? Just popping in with the video. So sometimes you can't do all what you want to do in one jump. Oh, well, actually, maybe a lot of cool things really do happen in one jump, but you got to still work up to something. So I'm not up to singing or dancing in the rain, but I'm running my mouth in the rain. I'm going to see what I can buy for lunch with all $6. What's the coolest thing you got in the store for $6? But I just had some inspiration. I was thinking like sometimes like you can I think I'm going to do as much as I can on a series about appreciating detail or appreciating our environment, like awareness. And one is just like seeing, like using, you can really discover a lot and create a lot with reason. Like I think maybe we get past it. So maybe you have like we have reason and faith, and somewhere between that you have like doubt and confidence. And you actually need doubt to be confident, and you need confidence to doubt, and you need faith to have reason, and you need reason for faith. It's interesting, I think, but sometimes you can think, so like you might have like different YouTube like content creators, and they would say that they're receiving insight, or like some people might say downloads, but I still don't think that it's good to make analogies between human beings and computers, because we just have enough of computers already. Just everything is computers all the time, and it's like, as brilliant as computers is, nobody cares about a computer that doesn't serve you. Like, so you have a computer that's outdated, even your own computer, as much as you loved it taken out of the box, when it no longer serves you, how much of a computer is almost more cumbersome than junk, because junk you can just throw away, but computer, sometimes you have to like do like, so you have to take computers to a specific place, like place that pays electronics, so you actually have to pay to get it taken off of your hands. That's actually the most brutal stuff. Like when you're going through something really brutal, like you can imagine like working out like in a really like tough fitness gym your first day in front of a bunch of cool people, and you end up throwing up, and like after it stops being impressive to you because it's not impressive to everyone else, they're like, oh yeah, but we're gonna need you to clean that up real quick, man. So now you got to clean up your throw up in front of everyone. So it's like, but the real stuff is like actually brutal like that. So you buy some fancy computer, and then you actually got to pay to discard it. But life is enough of computers, and everything is trying to make us a computer. So like you go somewhere, you say enlightening stuff, you say good faith stuff, kind stuff, and like they're really just trying to put like case notes on you, like what is this specimen that would think itself important enough to say something kind or wise or whatnot. But if you were to just say yes sir, I'm a computer. A computer? He actually thinks he's a computer. They could get all their friends like this dude thinks he's a computer. But you could actually like, maybe you actually practice like some like a line, like you actually practice like some type of a method of impressing people that would make you seem like a computer. Like you had like a technique for shorthand math, and you'd have them ask like math questions, and you figured out really quick to actually seem like a computer, but you're still not a computer, but you just had like a method. Because you could almost say methods are better than like then it doesn't have to be sophisticated if you just know a method to it. And that'd be more impressive than saying something kind, because like you actually can a little bit pass yourself off as a computer, and you'd probably be appreciated and enjoyed more as a computer. But because everyone's trying to change everyone. Everyone wants influence. But why do you want influence? So you can change people. Because if you change people according to your standard, you now have leverage, that is power over them, and everyone loves power. But everyone's near about just trying to get us to the point of being a computer most days. But a lot of people don't even like computers as much as people like computers if it doesn't serve someone. But what I wanted to say is that one way you could tell that people are really getting insight, like for content, or that you are getting insight, is that it's just different subjects that you weren't, that might have a logical correlation, but that's actually the greater correlation, that it would be a deeper correlation the less obvious it is, or the less seeming. So I wanted to do a video today about righteousness. I was thinking is that if you could imagine like someone else is like everything is awesome all the time, totally like how's your day? It's totally awesome. I'm having a totally awesome day. It's total. That'd actually be kind of cool if that's really who someone is, but it wouldn't be as believable, because it's like a little bit overdone. But a lot of us, I think it can be, that can go like with things like being righteous. So it's like we're supposed to be righteous, kind, upstanding, but we're not supposed to be proud. So we're supposed to be humble and awesome. Awesome for being humble, and humble is awesome. But what I meant to say is that if you were to really try to be completely just and righteous to the letter, that'd be a good standpoint to be real. But at a certain time, you can get into redundancies where you get into some things that are not like humane and not true to life, because life is a little bit balanced. Like even a tree, what's the most upright thing? A tree. But a tree is not entirely upright, because if it were, it couldn't contend with the vicissitudes. That's like change in fortune, but you could maybe say change in weather. The vicissitudes of weather could not be sustained by a tree. Maybe even a tree would get tired of its own posture if it's completely straight. So trees bend. And I had this other video saying that life, nature requires a degree of like violence and turbulence and trauma, according to the reasoning that I picked up in the works of Nassim Nicholas Taleb, who talks a lot about risk, but also just about what makes different things strong. And he's about strong. If I could explain Nassim Nicholas Taleb in one statement, he's just simply about strong. And part of that has to do with like trauma in nature. I think it might have been in one of his books where he pointed out the distinction between post-traumatic stress and post-traumatic growth. But if you think about how turbulent and traumatic a storm would be to a tree, now a lot of times you say maybe trees are in a better position because like when we're going off to work or we're doing stuff we don't feel like doing, the trees got it pretty much made. I wouldn't say a tree got it made in the shade, but they make the shade, so they somewhat got it made. But when it comes to being a storm, we have a place to duck off and hide, and the trees got to stand and grin and bear that. And it's gonna beat up the tree. And you see something cool about trees, like because trees don't move, but actually, nothing moves less than a tree, yet nothing moves more and more dynamic than a tree. The way that a tree can balance and sustain the weather, the change in the wind is really amazing. But like, I think that what actually makes our wind patterns, part of it is actually our own goings on as people. Because you think about, I still think that our feet are somehow like grounding and magnetic, the sensitivity of them. But sometimes you walk somewhere, like someone crosses your path or walks, you can feel people's footwork sometimes. You can actually feel the things people do with their feet. If someone were to walk in front of you and then randomly change their direction, somehow you could feel that a little bit. Or something walks in front of you, you could feel it like that. So I actually think that there's something magnetic about the earth and then our feet. There within the principles of city planning. There's a particular word for some of the magnetism of the earth. I'm not going to reference that word because it's a little bit. I think it has to do with some body of learning that's not entirely within the standard mainstream lexicon of knowledge. So it would be a little bit. I don't want to change the scope of this channel to make it like to make it that. It's just that could potentially be polarizing to mention that word. But it's understood according to some of the content by Tashrik Bey. There's actually magnetic lines of the earth that have to do with where the city planning that was understood at least centuries back, and it has to do with that. There's actually relationships between certain cities. Like according to him, the city of Chicago, Illinois, is a sister city to Mecca, and it corresponds along some of these lines of the magnetism of the earth that is actually understood to people in the past and maybe people still presently. But along that, all I meant to say is that sometimes I think that our goings on, like on foot, our foot traffic, but also the things we say, do, and think, the things we think and say might affect the atmosphere. Because according to Arthur Avalon, speech, that is the logos, the combination, the combined effect in reality of thought, verbal form and thought form, concept and expression, is actually what creates the dynamics that are captured, that are utilized as electricity. It's a world force, is logos, according to Arthur Avalon. So from that standpoint, you could say that some of our speaking, which you can't completely isolate speech and thinking and thought in form logos. An example of logos on a small level, as something is grand, it's also small. So maybe thought and speech is actually logos right there, concept and verbal. But it's somewhat electric, I think. So maybe all the things that we think and say into the atmosphere actually affect the charge of the atmosphere. If you think about all the talking and thinking and the combination of that people are doing, you see people get really pissed off, something profound happens, an incident happens, and is the air not charged at that point? Is the ground not charged at that point? So our groundwork might affect the magnetism of the earth, like the poles, and then our speech might affect the electricity of the air. I'm just giving pet theories with that. But what I meant to say is that this one's about to cut out, but I got another one.